Hey everyone, welcome back into Universal Beauty, and today we are going to be talking about all things lashes. There are so many choices that we have that there's a million ways to go, and most of us, I believe, would like to have a nice fanned up, lengthening, volumizing situation. The blackest black, but there's all kinds of choices. So I just thought I'd share with you today some of my favorite products, mascaras, tools, things like that. And right out of the gate, the first thing, we talked a lot about primers for our face and for our eyelids to hold our mascara in place. But there are lash primers too, and there's different kinds. The thing that some companies like to do is they make it white so that you can actually see it coating your every single lash. For me, that is now another step that I have to worry about getting all the white covered up. So this is the unsung hero for my money of this eyelash world. This is by It Cosmetics, and it is called Tightline. There you go. I'm hoping that this isn't showing you in reversed. I'm not sure. It's like my mirror image is showing it to me with the lettering going the wrong way. So hopefully you can see it like it's supposed to be. So Tightline, It Cosmetics. The thing about this, it comes in this skinny little tube, and this stuff is brilliant. It has this teeny tiny little lash comb, and it just allows you, this is a 3-in-1 black primer, eyeliner, mascara, if you feel so inclined to use it that way. But it is such a small little brush that, I'll give you a really closer shot there, you can see, but this affords you the ability to get right down to the root, right down to the waterline, and prime your lashes. And really the small tiny little head of the brush, you can get all the way around, because sometimes people will do the tops and the bottoms, but then they've got these gaping holes here and then in the corner, and it just lays down a nice primer for you. Now there's some women, I believe, that say that they work in a place like they're a nurse or something like that, where they can't have a ton of makeup on. They will actually go ahead and use this, and it like I said, it's the 3-in-1. It's a black primer. You'll get like an eyeliner effect and a mascara, a light mascara, if that's what you're after. So this is from It Cosmetics, and it is $24 for this. And I really think it's an unsung hero. Not enough people really ever talk about it, but it is a genius product. Just to show you kind of what the other ones are, Smashbox has a Photo Finish Lash Primer. It's $23. This is old style. I believe the packaging has changed, but see, it's all white. It looks like this. Can you see that? Yeah. And it's just coats every lash with this like white primer, almost like, primer like you'd prime the wall. And, it does afford you the ability to see exactly every lash, for then when you go to coat it with mascara afterwards, you can see what you're doing. But like I say, it just seems to me it's one extra step where why wouldn't you go ahead and use the black primer and just save yourself a lot of grief trying to get in there with your mascara wand and do that. Okay, now there are other things that are fiber lashes. There's a company called Unique, that's Unique with a Y, and they do these things where it's a two-step method where you use like the mascara comes in two tubes. Okay, so this is the first thing you would do, is you would lay down a coat of this mascara like normal, and then you move over while it's still wet. You move in with this, and it is just these little fibers. See those? They're just like little tiny hairs, and they're made of, things like, they're like green tea, and I forget what else is in the Unique brand. But anyway, there will be fallout, but if it hits you in your eye, it's not going to do damage to you. It is like, they will break down and that. So you go ahead and you coat through with this, and it just builds up a much longer and thicker lash for you, and then you go back over it with this to seal it. And I believe you can do this like 1 or 2 times depending on the length and volume you want. it's a good system. The lashes end up looking pretty good. You do have to get in there and do a little declumping after it's done, just to, you know, get everything looking nice. But what I found was, again, I'm always looking for products that will take me through the day, because I don't have a lot of time to sit around and touch up and keep checking. And there is fallout from those fibers that happens, and so that's why I liked it. But better for somebody who is able to, you know, kind of keep an eye on what's going on with them throughout the day. That retails for $29 for that, and I believe that it used to be like sales reps. You used to have to get to know somebody that was selling unique products, but now I believe that they do it online if you want to try that out. Too Faced also has something called Better Than False Lashes Extreme, and it's also the same kind of principle. It's a 2-part set, and you have step 1. This is the Prime and Seal mascara, so you would go ahead and start with this. You come back over it, and their fibers are white. Same kind of principle though. I'm going to show you over against the darker background. They're these little hair-like fibers, and they just coat over the top of that wet primer, and they stick to it and they volumize and lengthen. Then you go back over and you seal it. So this is the primer / mascara in one. That's why it's only a 2-step process. You don't have 3 different tubes of thing. This retails for $35, and again, it's the same, kind of the same thing. Obviously, if the fibers are white, if you did have fallout, it's not going to show as much as it would like with the black fibers of the Unique. But again, I just feel that I like it. It's not a bad product, but I feel like I've kind of got my system down where I have things that I prefer, that I like better. But still, something fun to try. There are great mascaras that come from the company Benefit, starting with Roller Lash. This is, looks like this, Benefit Roller Lash. And this one has a unique little curved brush. Like, can you see that curve? It's much more of a pronounced curve than a regular one. And the way that they sort of have you do this is go right from the root, kind of wiggle it in and roll up and out. And it does provide you with a real nice kind of fanned out look. Benefit's a good brand. This is decent. $25. I do have it and I change it out every now and then, but it isn't my go-to. Benefit also does their Reel, which is great. And it's got 3 colors, black, brown, and blue for this. And it has, like, you know, a nice little fatty brush. And the thing about this one is all around the top, it still has a little spiked area, like a little ball on the end almost. And they have you go through step 1, coating this way, and then you go vertical. And that's what the little brush continuation at the ball of the tip is for, too, so you can get right in the edge, right in the inner corner, lower, but you know, you can work it as a vertical as well as a horizontal brush. And I really like this mascara. It's also in my rotation. Good stuff. That one is $25 as well. Let's see. Okay, then they also, Benefit does Bad Gal, and I only have the sample size here because I also did stop using this. Bad Gal is a really thick brush, and this one is the mini. The regular full size has this big brush but on a longer wand, and it is a very, very super dark vinyl black, you know, that kind of like real wet look black, and it's great for that, you know, kind of pinup girl eyelashes. Beautiful product. But and there's of course the liner that goes with it, so you can really do a strong look with this. I think that these minis are around $12. The regular one for Bad Gal is $20. They do a waterproof versions for $19. Then there's the Bad Gal Bang, which didn't we talk about this before? This is so great. It's the last one that I use it's for my finishing, before I'm ready to go out the door, and it's got this amazing, great long brush on it, And so, you know, you can really use that to just hit everything one more time. It's nice dark black, and it is says it's volumizing and lengthening, but I think I use it more for like the lengthening than anything else, because my volumizing is already done by the time I'm just kind of hitting the edges before I go out. This is $25, and it is a main staple. I mean, I use this every day for the last touch-up. Moving on, we have Lancome. This is called Monsieur Big, and there's a waterproof version. Let me see which one is which. I think this one is the regular, and then the blue one is the waterproof. You know, good, nice brush. This is like a good solid mascara as well if you're into the Lancome products. These are $25 each. And also, Lancome for a long time, I think, was considered the authority when they came out with Definicils and their range of mascaras. It was just the definitive answer that separated high-end brands from drugstore. Again, nothing really wrong with drugstore mascara. I just, again, personally, I feel like you got to work harder. These products perform better. I like the formula better, but this is going to be, you know, personal taste, what you decide works for you. So I do still have like a few tubes of this stuff. It's great mascara, but again, it's just not my go-to. Let's see, the Hypnose Drama. This one here is $27.50. It's got this kind of, you know, spearhead brush, I guess you would say. That does give you, you know, it gives you a nice, it's got a little bit of a bend in it, you know, like a curve. But it's good. You know, you can really get in there and hit all your spots. You know, it is, again, luxury brand. Hypnose Star. I believe that they've changed the packaging on this. I think it's pink now, but this one, it was real glittery. It was like a holiday formula. And this one was also $27.50, and that is even a sharper pointed wand. You can see thick at the bottom, skinny at the top. Again, you probably would roll that through. It was just, you know, it was okay for me. It's good mascara, but this was also theirs. This one is the Grandiose, and this one is $32, and it's got this really interesting comb with it, and that affords you the ability to like really get in there this way or this way. And, you know, that's what it's all about, just getting good coverage on every single lash. And everybody's coming up with different brushes. This is going to be a personal preference to figure out, like, what works for you and what doesn't. For getting in those, like, little places, I really do prefer, like, a Bad Gal Bang or even the Tightline. Skinny, long brush. It just, I think it does better. Now, for something fun, beautiful, and long-wearing and just great, Pretty Vulgar. This company has this mascara called the Feathers, and the Raven is the black one. And I just have to show you this because, you know, I told you I'm just like such a sucker for cute packaging. And this is like beyond beautiful. If I can get it open, it's like number 19, I believe that's the Raven. Look at this. Is that not the cutest thing ever? It's like a little birdie on top, and it's like a little bird cage, and oh, is this cute? I mean, it's rose gold and white, and just so beautiful sitting on your vanity table. Got this this kind of, again, curved brush, and it's got a lot of good vitamins in here and nourishing things for your lashes. So that one, Pretty Vulgar. Isn't this the cutest little thing with this little birdie at the top? I'm telling you, I love this. $24. It's very long wearing, and there is a primer, I believe, that also is $24. That is the companion piece to that if you want to try Pretty Vulgar. Now, for me, the meat of the order is my go-to every day is Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. For holiday, they brought it out with little sparkles all over the tube, and this one is Better Than Sex and Diamonds. And it's got a nice hourglass little fatty brush, and you know, this formula, I have actually heard some people don't care for the formula, but I think it is terrific. I absolutely love this stuff. It's my go-to every single day. I do a couple of coats of this and then just pop the tips with that Bad Gal Bang and I'm out the door. This also comes in a waterproof, that's the mint green packaging, and the regular in the pink packaging. And the waterproof, see how this one has the sparkles all over the tube? The waterproof one is so cute because it's got like little, it looks like sprayed water just beading around the end of the tube. Too Faced is really, again, they're another one that has just, when they started out, this brand, I kind of remember thinking their packaging was a little too cutesy, but they leveled up and they have it to where it's always super cute packaging, but it makes more sense than the early days to me. That kind of made me feel like it was like a kid brand, but now, yeah, it's an adult brand for women and men and boys and girls that just like a good high-end product in great cute packaging. So they're $24, and right now even on the Too Faced website you can still get this like little glittery one and it's the same thing, $24, and it's so cute and I'm loving that every day, seeing that sparkle. Now for tools of the trade, of course you want to have a eyelash curler. Oh, you know what? First of all, before we get into tools, let's talk about this for a minute. There are prescription or just very expensive treatments that you can put on your eyelashes or brows at night to grow them in thicker and fuller. One is called Lash Boost and the other I think is Latisse. You know, you have to be careful with those because there is, for some people, I think that there's an ingredient in these treatments that is used to do something with glaucoma treatment. Anyway, it can actually change the color of your iris, and I don't know if we want that, you know. I believe that these products are touted as doing really good. I think Lash Boost is like something like $123. I'm not sure about Latisse, but you know, they think that you can see results within a month. You don't need to do that. If you go on Amazon, there's a company called Mascara. It's organic castor oil. And this is all you need, and it's 10 bucks. Okay? You get this right here. This is what it looks like. Mascara. And it's cold pressed, organic. You get the dropper here, and it's, you know, castor oil, but you also get a little mascara wand with it. And I don't know where mine is right now, but it's also just a tiny little like paintbrush, you know. And what you would do with this is you'd put a little castor oil on it before you go to bed at night, and you just sweep it along your lashes. Take maybe the little paintbrush and sweep it along your lash line. I usually hit my eyebrows with this stuff too. And you know, while you're sleeping, it's working. It's really 10 bucks versus 123, and maybe it's going to change your iris color of your eyes. I think I'd rather go with this. Anyway, it's on Amazon and it's terrific. So that's another good thing you can do for yourself to keep those lashes nourished. The next thing, eyelash curlers. Mine is from Tarte. It's old when they did like the mermaid stuff. It's super cute. It has all these little tails on it. They don't do this particular one anymore, but normally these on Sephora lash curlers, they range in price from about $12 to $40. The mid-range is usually about $22, $23, and that will get you a good one. The thing you want to remember when you're curling your lashes is you don't want to camp out on your lashes. Otherwise, from the side view, you're going to have an L shape instead of a nice curve to your lashes. And that's a real rookie mistake. And you see it a lot with like young girls, especially that have just started wearing makeup and they're using these tools improperly. And they will just thread their lashes through and just hang. And that's not what you want to do. You want to get in and get off as fast as possible. And you also want to pump your eyelash curler while you're using it on your lashes. You don't want to just sit there because that's what causes these sharp, weird angles. And you know, you do look strange from the side when you do that. So it's a good thing to have. A lot of times, you know, when when you use hot rollers, say, and after you take them out, you got to wait for your hair to cool before you can kind of start playing with it. Otherwise, it just frizzes out. If you take if you apply this in the bathroom and you curl your lashes and before you do that, if you hit this with your blow dryer on a heat setting and don't let it get too hot, just kind of test it, and then you just hold it, pump it on your lashes just real quick. It'll give you such a nice curl. And then if you've got that ability on your blow dryer to give yourself that blast of cool, then it almost is just like hot rollers on your lashes. It's a great little tip if you're wanting something to really help your eyelashes fan out and stand up a little bit. That is a good way to do it. The other thing, of course, I have talked about this before in a previous video, the lash comb. This is something you must have. Gosh, mine, sorry, has a little bit of mascara in it. Yikes. Never, never, never use needles and pins or sharp sticks or things like that around your eyes. This is already sharp enough. You still have to be careful, but it's just easier to comb through and rid yourself of any clumps. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine, is clumpy mascara. I really can't stand that. Wasn't that even a thing for a minute where they were else like seems to me, I remember seeing some company, and I believe it was like Georgia May Jagger was the model, and they were touting it as like tarantula lashes, and it was like this thick, clumpy, goopy looking, I guess it was kind of given a little shout out to old 60s look, but that's a horrible trend, and it really just doesn't look good, and I'm kind of glad that that went away, because I don't know why you would ever want to do that. Anyway, lash combs. If you ever see your friends or your loved ones or your kid using a pin or a needle, slap that out of their hands and don't take it away from them. Don't let them do it. Go get a lash comb. These are about $10 at Sephora. I think in the drugstore, gosh, probably half that price. And they're just such a useful tool. I use mine every single day. I love it, and I think everybody should have one. Now, let's just say that mascara is all well and good, but you want to try some false lashes. There's a few different ways to go with that too. There are things that you want to help your application along is you need to get a pair of slanted tweezers. This is so much better for picking up your lash and placing it than trying to do it with your fingers or some awkward other kind of clamping tool. This works great, and these you can get on Sephora for about $22. You can probably get them cheaper in the drugstore as well, but they just have this nice slant to them, and it really helps you to keep your big hands out of the way and just place your lashes and move them around if you need to. That makes your life 10 times easier. Let's see, other than that, you're going to need a little pair of manicure scissors, because you always need to cut your false lashes to fit, because they make them extra long, and because we all have different shapes of eyes, and that's why you have to kind of custom make this for yourself. So you're going to need a pair of manicure scissors. There also, Anastasia Beverly Hills does one for about a pair for about $22.50. Revlon does them for $11.99. So there's a big price range. You just kind of get a pair that feels good and acts good, and you'll be all right. Now, there's also a thing now that are magnetic lashes, and the idea for these is that the lash itself has these little magnets, and you put two together, one on the top of your natural lashes and one below, and they sort of sandwich your lashes in between them. There's an applicator for it. You have to, again, maneuver this. Do you see how these are? You've got to get them stuck on here, and then place this over your real lashes, and then you clamp down, and in theory, they're supposed to stick together. I've just struggled with these, and I'm not ever feeling confident. Once they're placed, I just don't feel confident that they're going to sit there all day. I know some people really like these. The idea of them is really genius, but I don't know. I don't think so. I don't want to get involved with that. It just takes so much practice to be able to land them correctly, and I don't know that it's all that much payoff. So, Having said that, if you're going to choose to wear false lashes, there are two different kinds, the kind that come on a thread and the kind that come on a band. And again, this is going to be a matter of preference. I personally, if I'm going to wear them, I prefer the thread because I feel like they're just easier to manipulate. Now, this is an example of a pair that is on a thread. And again, you can see very, very long. You take your slanted tweezers and, oops, I've got that backwards, looking in my monitor instead of in real life. Okay, so you've got these clamped on, and this is where you would put it against your eye and you'd kind of gauge in your mirror. Okay, you need to like snip off this much off the end. And you know, you make a custom fit for that. But then for me, after the glue goes down, you can place those and then you just pull the ends, you know, to fit where you want them to be. Now with a band, it's much more, I'm going to show you, this is a pair of Kat Von D lashes and they're on a band. And they are, the thing I also don't like about these is you see all the little sections of clear in between each tuft of lashes. Well, those then, once you place this, that has to be filled in with like liner to make sure that you've got a nice black precision look. This would be the same principle. When you're checking these, you want to see where you would kind of have it, and then you want to snip off the ends to fit to your eye the way that you're going to want it to be. There's also like kinds you can get that don't have the clear in the middle, and these are so lovely. These are from Japanesque. Look at that. They are the prettiest things, but I'm telling you, there is just something weird about these being on the band like this. I have struggled with these so much. I mean, in theory, they would look so amazing if I could get these placed the way that I want to, but it is so hard to do. God, see, you could see how great they would be, but I have over and over struggled with them. I go back to the thread because these are just really difficult, I think. If you got time to play. Another thing, boy, if you are going to do false eyelashes, just make sure that you're not rushed, like there's not somebody waiting on you, tapping their foot or their watch, because you will inevitably like screw them up so bad anytime. Or if you're late for work thinking, oh, I'll skip the mascara and I'll just place some lashes instead, don't do it, because you can't be in a hurry. You've got to be able to just take your time and breathe. Then there's also clear or black lash glue. I prefer black because, again, the clear, sometimes it gets that shiny vinyl look to it where something looks weird. So then you've got to go back in with your black liquid eyeliner and keep piling it on. The black glue, at least, you know, you're all set to go. So that is better. Duo lash glue is $9. It comes in the tube that you just place along the lash and let it get tacky before you place it. But they also have come out with something that's in like a mascara looking tube, and it's on a brush, you can brush it on if you just don't trust your hand working with a tube that way. So that is the world of lashes. There are so many options, so many ways to go. I hope that this was helpful for some of you. If it was and you liked it, please think about subscribing. If you would like to be notified every time that there is a new upload, there's a little bell next to the subscribe button, and you can hit that and then you'll get notifications every time. I've been trying to upload on Thursdays and Saturdays, so that's kind of the schedule I'm hoping to follow. So please comment down below and give it a thumbs up or share it, and let me know what kind of mascara you love, and if there was any things you had questions about. I hope this has been helpful to you in some way, and thank you so much as always for joining me, and so great to have you here. And I'll see you next time, and thanks everybody. Bye-bye.